Okay, so the question, we look at the question here. It says, let's bring it here. Let me drag it here. Suppose the supply function for product X is given by QS X equals negative 30 plus 2px minus 4pz. So what this function is telling us is that the quantity supplied is affected by the price of good X and also the price of good Z. All right. So we look at our first question. How much of product X is produced when PX equals $600 and PZ equals $60? All right. So this first part is very easy. It's just a matter of substitution. So you write the supply function Q is X equals negative 30 plus 2. So where there's PX, we substitute it with $600. So here we substitute PX with $600 minus 4. Then where there's PZ, we substitute it with $60. So colleagues, let's get our calculators. So you're going to have negative 30 plus 600 times 2, you get 1,200. 60 times 4, you get 240. So I'm going to say negative 30. Let's get our calculators. Negative 30 plus 1,200 minus 240, you get 930 units. So 930 units of good eggs are going to be supplied when the price of good eggs is 600 and the price of good Z is 60. Any questions, colleagues, before we go to part B? So part B, it's the same thing. We just need to substitute into our equation. When the price of good X is 80 and the price of good Z. So here we have Q S X equals negative 30 plus 2. So we're substituting PX with 80 now. So 2 times 80 minus 4 PZ. The price of good Z is still 60 here. So negative 30, 2 times 80, that is 160. 4 times 60, that's 240. So minus 240. So negative 30 plus 160 minus 240. Hey, she produced negative 110 units. Now, whatever this means, because you can't produce negative units. So basically, maybe you won't be able to produce basically. Yes. Any questions, colleagues? All right. Suppose PZ still equals 60. Determine the supply function and inverse supply function for good eggs and graph the inverse supply function. Okay, so first let's determine our supply function QSX. We got negative 30 here plus 2px minus 4 said pz still equals 60. So this is 60 here. So we get negative 30 plus 2px. 4 times 6, that's negative 2. Oh, that's 240. Can you say negative 4 times 60? So that's negative 240 here. Like terms, negative 30 minus 240, we're going to get negative 270. So you put here negative 270 plus 2px. So this is our simplified supply function. Then, when they ask for the inverse supply function, they want you to make price the subject of the formula, right? So let's make price the subject of the formula. So we take this negative 270 over the equal sign. So we have Q as X plus 270 equals 2px, right? So to get the value of px, or to make px the subject of the formula, we divide both sides by 2. So px equals q sx plus 270 over 2. Okay, so this is the inverse supply function where you make price the subject of the formula. So let me just bring price this side. Px equals this. This is the inverse supply function. If we want, we can even simplify it further. Want to make life easy, we just say Q is X over 2 plus 270 over 2, right? So it's like you've got a 1 here, 1 QSX, 1 divided by 2, that is 0.5. So it's a 0.5 QSX 270 divided by 2, you get 135. So if you want, you can simplify your inverse supply function like this. Yes. Then graphing. If you want, you can make your graph using the supply function like this. Or if you want, you can make your graph using the inverse supply function. Either way, you still get an upward sloping curve. And how you make your graph, all right, you make a supply schedule, all right. You're going to have price here, and you're going to have quantity, okay. So here you can say, okay, if we use the inverse supply function to make a graph, we say, okay, when the quantity equals 0, what is the price? So you substitute this QSX with 0. 0 times 0 0.5, 0. The price is 185. When the price equals, when the quantity equals, let's say, 1, right? You substitute 1 with QE, all right? 0 0.5 times 1, 0 0.5. 135 plus 0 0.5, 135.5. Okay, maybe let's say, okay, if the price is 10, and not the price, the quantity is 10, you substitute 10 with Q here. 10 times 0 0.5, that is 5. 5 plus 135, that's 140. So it would be better if you use increments like 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, so that you get at least a nice curve. Okay, yes. Then you can plot these points on a graph. Any questions?